context for what you're about to see. I hope that you've enjoyed our previous episode, lots of fun and play and magic. This is completely different than those, and I think it's really important to share. I keep mentioning societal programming, how it gets us away from our magic, and one of the things that I think is most important is that we're told that our emotions are bad. We are told that they're wrong, that getting angry or being sad is shameful, and we judge ourselves for it, and then we keep ourselves from actually feeling those things. So in this experience, I am letting myself feel my feelings, and I'm gonna show you what that looks like. As much as I would love to avoid ugly crying on the internet, from my perspective, this is what frees us from the chains of the programming. This is what allows us to free up space within our bodies and our psyches and our consciousness to experience more love and pleasure and adventure and magic and money and all of the things that we all want more of. And when you do this deep work, it's more sustainable, the magic in your life. It's this deep work that has allowed me to step into my power, to find my magic, access my supernatural abilities, and be the gifts that I want to share in the world. The more that I continue to give myself permission to feel these emotions without saying they're wrong, without any judgment, without shaming myself for feeling them, the better they actually feel. And sometimes those deep, deep cries actually end up feeling really pleasurable, and you are so much freer on the other side. When we got to Ireland, I came from Australia. It was the longest flight, the farthest distance, and I just don't really believe in jet lag. I know exactly how to combat it, everything to do so that I can just be ready and raring to go, even if I've circumnavigated the entire globe. This just wasn't happening for everyone else. And I'd be up early, like ready to go, and everyone else was sleeping until noon, which is why most of the time I travel and do lots of things by myself so that I can do whatever I want, whenever I want, and not deal with anybody else's schedule. Ultimately, I got extremely frustrated, and I was kind of nagging everybody and just wanting to go. It's like, we're in Ireland, we're not in LA, we're not at home, we're here. I spent an obscene amount of money to be here. Like, I wanna be here, let's go and do things. We were supposed to go to Scotland the next day, and I'm trying to buy our flights, and the page just wouldn't load. It would just refresh, refresh, refresh. And we're supposed to go the next day. I no longer have financial scarcity, and yet I was still allowing a pattern or frequency of scarcity to exist in my field. So if it's not gonna express itself through financial scarcity, I gotta find scarcity someplace else. Where are we gonna put this? And it went into time or support. So it's like, now there's not enough time. And a bunch of just compounded human bullshit first world problems, like, ultimately led to a massive breakdown. We've been talking about Merlin and Druids and how I feel really connected to that fractal. I feel like I have been all of the characters in that particular storyline, and it doesn't feel like a story to me. It feels entirely real. I feel like I've lived as King Arthur, I've lived as Merlin, I've lived as the mage, the lady of the lake, the priestess of Avalon. All of that feels like hearing my life story over and over again, and for the last year in particular, I have felt like my heart is the stone in which Excalibur is embedded, and like feeling this deep wound, this pain inside of my heart. Whether that pain is from my own stories of fear, scarcity, really like everything that I talk about with societal conditioning is that we're programmed out of our magic. So one of my programs is like being afraid to be like this. And I paid for someone to come and the camera to be here to capture all of it. And I was just so terrified because we were capturing more of like the mythology and the sacred sites and like the things that I'm interested in. But my past stories say that nobody's interested in what I'm interested in. So I was terrified that everything we'd captured was just stuff that I was gonna care about, and then I was gonna come home and have nothing to share with anyone that was of value. And I needed help. After my accident at 16, when my arm was useless for 3 years, I needed help with everything. So once I could use my hand again, I really stopped asking for help. And luckily, my friend who was with me is not only an amazing coach, but amazing at asking for support. He'll call me all the time and be like, oh my God, I'm having a moment. Can you help me transmute this? I need support. And so I was finally able to reciprocate that ask. So the fear that came up, the scarcity, my patterns, not asking for help, was all because I want to encourage people who have not committed to the spiritual path yet, or maybe haven't even embarked upon it already at all. Fucking go for it. Instead of being afraid, instead of worrying about what you're gonna have to come up against and the identity you're gonna have to shatter, it's a lot of work. It's incredibly challenging. I don't want to freak you out. I don't want to intimidate you. But when you heal your wounds, you find your magic. And it is the most courageous choice you will ever make, and the most challenging, and the most worth it. In order for me to get out of the agonizing weight of these stories within myself, I had to energetically pull the sword from my heart. And here is a real-time, energetic healing session with a fellow Druid brother, worth every tear, and I hope you find something in it for you.
Good, yeah, feel that. The sword in your heart. And I want you to ask the sword in your heart, why are you here?
To protect me.
From what?
Anything. Everything.
It's an overall protection system that's been keeping you thinking of worst case scenarios, which is then manifesting those and proving that there's something wrong. And that's keeping a big part of your heart from opening deeper to yourself and others. It's not just in you, but in most of humanity today. And all the work you've done has taken you here. You're actually able to pull out the sword from the stone now. This is the moment you've been waiting for, that's been predicted from your dreams, that the card has shown you. And that's the very essence of the rune we just pulled. The completion of your long initiatory journey into the light.
Into the light.
Yes. You're already feeling lighter. You're already getting lighter. You know, those LA programs, even, they're not even you, and you can see them. You know? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Beyond all of that, you are a queen of legends. That's both powerful and primal, but that stillness is there. To just say, okay, this just happened, this just got fucked up. Okay, what's next? Let me transmute that right away. Let me integrate the simple universal truths that I know in each moment and not get lost in the darkness, because I think I need to go down there. So that chapter, you're closing that right now. And it's okay that you went there. I went there. And it's because we thought we needed to protect ourselves, right? So that sword in there is not from someone else. It doesn't matter where it came from. It's a part of you that's been just trying to support you. So this is a part of you that's called an exile. It's a part of your consciousness that's been separated, and it's running its own script. And it's time to bring it back home to the Dragon Mama. And you're ready now. You needed all of this stuff to happen recently. Frustration, things going wrong, like the biggest things just like falling on top of you. Why? Because you needed to get that necessary pressure to make the diamond. This is why you're here in Ireland right now. We're going to these Druid sites. It's all about flow. And today is the day for you to actually just let go and not control anything and not see anything as wrong. Right? What's going to happen if you do that? If you allow yourself that gift?
I'll be free.
Yeah. Use the alchemy. How did it work for me? Why is this happening for me? Right? You're still feeling it. You're asking for support. So it's just committing to that. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Thank the sword. Because gratitude is the ultimate alchemy. Because in that sword is that little girl that grew up in a crazy planet and had to shut off to protect herself. And she's been doing her best to protect you from dangers, not knowing that she created her own reality. So embrace that little girl and forgive her and speak to her now out loud. Words from your heart to remind her of who she is.
All of your fantasies, all of your dreams, all of your visions are possible. Everything you desire is meant for you. And it's all happening and it's all coming and you're so worthy of it.
Relax every part of your body now. Relax your roots. Yeah, there we go. Just letting all of those handcuffs and ropes come off. Those attachments to time, to scarcity, to protecting yourself from unknown.
It's just like holding at it.
It's okay. So what else do you need?
It's like she wants proof, you know? She just
That's
like,
good. Yeah.
wants proof.
That's good. So let's give her proof. This is usually what happens. She's a smart girl, right? What do you need to feel safe? To let go?
She like wants magic, and then I think about what happened yesterday with the wand. It's like, what more do you want? Like, what more do you want? This is what it looks like in this dimension. Like, I don't know how to get you a fucking dragon. I don't know. That's all I want. I want to give you your fucking dragon, and I don't know how to. I don't know how to do that. I feel them all around me, and I can't see them. Like, I don't know what you want me to do.
Do you remember what was written on your wand?
I am the dragon. I am the dragon.
You just forgot that. Dragons don't worry. They alchemize. They fly. They trust. They serve. That's what you're doing right now. This is the deepest level of trust and surrender you've ever experienced in this life. So feel this moment. All the different feelings are just waves in an ocean. You are not the waves. You are the ocean. There is no scarcity. It was just a dream to awaken you. I want you to look in your heart and tell me what you see.
Like playing the King Arthur music.
Yeah. United. The sword is knighting you now. Right?
And like Charlie Hunnam's there, and then I'm like, no, bro, I got this.
Yeah.
And I'm just like seeing, it's like almost out, and I'm just like, I'm pulling it out.
Yes, you are. So enjoy the last moment of it being in your heart. Just remember this moment and take your hand, and you're going to pull it out and knight yourself with it.
I knew that's what you were going to say.
This is it. There it comes. Being the dragon that your little girl trusts now because she has seen the proof. You have completed your initiatory process. Your power sources from surrender. Your magic manifests from trust. For you are the queen of the light now.
Queen of peace in the forest, queen of peace in the sea, queen of peace in the desert, queen of peace.
I felt like fucking Arya, like like blasting the Night King inside of me. Like,
That was a big release.
I'm committing to utilizing and wielding that sword with the power of the light, like for the service of my own awakening and mission and like the healing of the planet, my own, which is a reflection of my own healing.
What does that look like specifically for you in the next few days?
Carrying that frequency that everything is always going right. Just knowing that it's going right. It's going right. It's going right. I did it. As soon as you called me out on that, I did it the rest of the day. I was in it fully for the rest of the day. And it's like not an afternoon long thing. It's always.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you said something about like magic is trust.
Mm. Yeah.
That really like landed for me. So just trusting.
Trust is your magic wand.
And like seeing that
you know, that thing with the dragons yesterday. Like, they don't have to be outside of me.
Don't let any other concept, including your mission, project, go above your own vibration, your own flow, your own intuition.
So this is a magical light.